Trump's doing this because he knows I'll beat him like a drum. And he's using the abuse of power and every element of the presidency to try to do something to smear me.
Oh, so much smearing. Joe Biden pushing back as President Trump raises questions over the former VP's dealings in Ukraine. Back in 2016, he pushed for the dismissal of a Ukrainian prosecutor widely accused of overlooking corruption in his own office. But at the same time, Biden's son Hunter, very troubled, worked with a natural gas company owned by a Ukrainian oligarch. And while there's no proof Joe Biden did anything wrong, President Trump says it's worth looking into. Watch.
What his son did is a disgrace. The son took money from Ukraine. The son took money from China, a lot of money from China. Let me just tell you, what Biden did was wrong.
Oh, mercy. Meantime, the ranking Republican on the House Intel Committee says Biden's campaign won't be able to withstand the scrutiny.
These stories first originated back when Hillary Clinton was trying to make sure that Biden didn't get in the race. I don't know who came up with the scheme. Maybe there really is. This whistleblower is not a partisan. I mean, we want to hear from that whistleblower, but it sure looks like the scheme has backfired. And this, like I said, I think this is probably the end of Biden's campaign.
End of his campaign.
I really do. His lead is basically down to zero.
Oh, mercy. So does Biden have, what's a bigger concern for him today, on this Monday? Is it Liz Warren surging in Iowa, or is it the fact that what they're trying to tie the president to could actually be damaging to him in terms of Ukrainian prosecutors?
I think he's got to be concerned about what's in front of him, which is trying to win Iowa and win New Hampshire and move on from there. But, you know, this the whole charges here are really a double win for a lot on the left. I mean, you show Nunes talking about it, but the conversation that's taking place with a lot of Democrats is that this not only hurts the president, but it also hurts Biden. It has the ability to move him out of that front runner status very quickly. And if these charges start to stick, because this is just Ukraine, we're going to have China come up right behind it in terms of the same charges against Biden's son. And this is one in which I think you will see Democrats start to pile on at a different level, and they're not going to make it. Well, you have to go where there's smoke, there's fire, and investigate. And I think Biden really does have vulnerabilities here.
You mentioned Elizabeth Warren. Watch for her to be the loudest voice on impeachment of President Trump. And that's how you know how damaging this is to Joe Biden, who's ahead of her. If you look at, it's not even Ukraine. I mean, the focus for me has always been China. In 2013, Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter flew on Air Force 2 to China. Less than 2 weeks later, Biden's firm inked a $1 billion private equity deal with a subsidiary of the Chinese government. It was $1.5 billion after a short time, the Chinese government funding a business that it co-owned along with the son of the sitting vice president.
Wow.
How do you get Chinese money, more than $1 billion, to invest in your project and you're running that fund? Either you have a huge track record for making a ton of money and killing it in private equity. I know this from covering finance forever. Wait, but Hunter Biden doesn't have 1 minute of a track record in finance.
That's
so what does he bring to the table?
Well, I mean, you talked about these ethical conferences that you would have in the Obama administration.
Regularly.
Did
he was
Joe
not
Biden
part of our administration. Vice President Biden absolutely did, but Hunter was not part of our administration. So he was a private citizen, and I think if we flip the script, again, you look at the situation where President Trump's sons continue to run the business, and they take meetings with people in China.
Okay,
they
but
take meetings
respectfully,
with people
here's the difference, because I'm come from a financial world. They're doing the same business they've always done. Hunter Biden was a lobbyist when his father was in Congress.
He was a lawyer,
and
then he was a lobbyist in Congress.
Private equity with no financial experience at all.
Wow.
And rode on the plane with his dad to collect billions in something he had no experience.
What a great job.
My husband's in private equity. He's been his whole life. So, you don't walk in and start unless you bring something great to the table. I don't know in his case what that would be, because there's no record of anything.
Would it be his father?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a big question. Surely. Look, you asked such an interesting question to kick things off here, Kennedy, and it was, what is the most politically dangerous thing for Joe Biden? And you said what's ahead. So I would argue it would be two things. Elizabeth Warren would be the most politically dangerous, because that's what's ahead. She's taking Iowa
already tightened
right now.
up in Iowa.
I would say this, the progressives on the left. Did you catch the interview that Ilhan Omar did, she's one of the 4 squad, did with The Guardian over the weekend? There are few people who fit into the kind of progress that we all want to see in this country. And I would say Joe Biden is not one of them.
Oh, mercy. They are elbowing him out with those mean girl jabs, aren't they?
Well, conceivably, Kennedy, what's happening is this is an opening.
Yes.
For those people who are very far left of Joe Biden to say, look, don't know what's going on with this, don't know if an investigation is coming. However, he's not the one.
And Biden is being propped up by the Congressional Black Caucus and the endorsements he has there. Does this start to peel those off? Is this given the opportunity to say, you know what, this is too much for us. Let's look at a Cory Booker, a Kamala Harris, or even a Elizabeth Warren. If that starts to happen, that is the key behind his support.
And you saw what Booker did today. He's going to wait till he can come up with
we got to go quickly.
I'll go back. The truth is, what President Trump's sons were doing did not affect him in the Republican primary, and I would disagree with the presumption that this will affect Joe Biden.
There's something to. I think voters have a way of disconnecting the behavior of their kids from the candidate, and if not, then Roger Clinton would have torpedoed Bill Clinton's re-election. All right, I know it wasn't. I know it was his brother. All right, calm down. All right, the White House still not putting any gun control proposals on the table, and some lawmakers in both parties say it's time to move on with the issue.